Welcome back to Smart Life. I'll tell you what, I have noticed something recently that has given me hope for the United States. As different news stories have emerged just over the last few months, I've watched the right and the left start to agree on some issues. It doesn't happen often, but when the Veterans Administration scandal broke, I saw people on both sides of the aisle beginning to jump to defend, of course, the veterans and make sure that they get their care. The problems aren't close to being solved, but taking care of veterans is something that I would think almost all Americans can unite to support. Then there's the Marine in the Mexican jail, Sergeant Tahmooressi. He's been jailed in Mexico for almost 2 months now on firearms charges, and people on the right and on the left are getting ticked. Even the most anti-gun and anti-war activists are joining now with Tea Party groups to put pressure on the Mexican and American governments to get this veteran released. Well, one of my favorite people who hails from the left side of most issues is Fox News contributor and pardon attorney Tamara Holder. I invited her here today to discuss the issues that unite us. Tamara, welcome to Smart Life. Good to have you.
Hello, Dr. Gina.
Now, this Veterans Administration thing, you've been very outspoken on. Tell us a little bit about where you stand on that, why you stand that way, and what you're hearing from your friends on the left about this issue.
Well, I think everybody's concerned because we, first of all, whatever side you're on, we all know that we have money issues in the United States of America, and frivolous spending and fraudulent spending of taxpayers' money is unacceptable. There was a great piece written by Emily Walker, who works at Fox News, and she did this investigation into how much money people have been paying themselves at these different areas within Veterans Affairs. And the thing is that really bothers me is that we have so many veterans that really are suffering. PTSD, depression, everything, a gamut of issues. And it's really disturbing as to what's going on.
Do you feel like the president is on this? Some of his words yesterday, one of the things he said was that the inspector general did not see a link between veteran deaths and delays in VA hospitals. And he also suggested that he can't really take action until they find out exactly what happened. But meanwhile, we're hearing reports that there were up to 23 deaths attributable to this. Do you feel like he should be moving faster or maybe somehow more personally involved to preclude other deaths that might come the veterans' way?
Well, look, this president is, and as you know, and a lot of your viewers and listeners may know, I'm a Democrat, but I am not proud of this president, and I think that he's been very hands-off on a lot of issues. Whether he's afraid or, I don't know what his mental issues are himself, but the fact of the matter is that, I feel like we're too quick to prosecute and place blame on people, including our president. I'm not saying he's not without fault, but I think it's smart for him to say he doesn't have all the information. It's going to take some time, whether it's Benghazi, IRS, or now this. Of course, Benghazi's taken a lot longer than I'd like to see. But Gina, I think that he should be more concerned because there are deaths that are obviously or apparently occurring.
One of the places he's taken a lot of criticism from both conservatives and liberals alike is certainly on our Marine being held right here in Mexico. This isn't 30 miles from where I am right now. And every day this man, first of all, he was already having some issues, like I believe some PTSD and some other things. And every day he's held in prison. Those who are advocating for him are saying it's putting him more at risk for even deeper demons to battle. This man was willing to stand for our country, and yet is it too much to ask this practical question of could we possibly just could the president just go there and make this happen?
Yes and no. I actually spent 2 hours on the phone with Congressman Hunter's office yesterday. His spokesman was just amazing. I'm writing an article well, I've written it. It's being edited now. It will be on foxnews.com tomorrow as a featured op-ed. I was able to get a lot of information that hasn't been reported. We do know that Andrew was diagnosed with PTSD on March 20th. This is after he has served our country. He served in Afghanistan 2 tours. He had a concussion. He saved people who were dying at the hands of the Taliban. He went through a lot, and at just 25 years old, he came back and was diagnosed with PTSD. The reason why he went to San Diego was specifically for treatment. And he ended up at the border by accident. We know through the 911 calls that it was by accident, or the single 911 call that he made. He said, I don't know if I'm on the border. I don't know where I am. I couldn't turn around. And we also know that he slit his throat while he was in this Mexican jail. And on top of that, we know that Secretary Kennedy was in Mexico yesterday and the day before, I believe, and hasn't done anything. We can't just go in there and take Andrew away. We have to understand that we appreciate every system's judicial process and every country's judicial process. But I'd like to point out that there is something we can do, and that is that we can cut off the funding to the Mexican military that we have given. That is hundreds of millions of dollars. I believe $400+ million that we have given strictly to their military in 3 years. We can cut that off and say enough is enough.
Yeah, well, in an interview on Fox News, on I believe it was Greta's show, Duncan Hunter, Congressman Hunter, sort of called for patriots to do precisely that. And I can tell you, I'm in the process right now of organizing a group of patriots to go there next week and to either protest or rally, depending on what we find out at the hearings. But I want to say this. The prolonged nature of this situation with a man who already is battling his own mental demons is torturous. It's just plain wrong. And I don't understand why something can't be done quickly. You know, Obama could go on TV to defend Sandra Fluke, but he can't go on TV to defend our imprisoned Marine. This makes no sense to me whatsoever. And if I were a Democrat, I'd be screaming bloody murder right now.
Well, I think that I agree. And I also said that I thought that it was absolutely foolish and kind of insulting to have Sandra Fluke as a woman, a spokesperson for women, for Democratic women on the campaign trail. That being said, Obama won with all due respect. So obviously it worked for him. But we know that the law, that the strict law, Andrew broke. He didn't have the motive to break it, but he entered the country with weapons.
Right.
He broke the law. Now, we know also that it was an accident and that we have a friendship. We should have a friendship with Mexico. There are 10,000 people that cross over the border, I think every day, or
I've stood in that line.
It's a ridiculous amount of people who cross over the border
Right.
every single day. And there has to be some kind of reasonableness here.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They have to look at this and say, he has no criminal record. Andrew has no criminal record. He wasn't trafficking guns.
He served a lot of time, too, Tamara. I think that's the other thing, is that people are agreeing. The guy has served some time. I mean, nobody's denying he did something wrong, but he needs help. He served some time. It was obviously an accident. I think you've made all those points really clearly. We'll look forward to your op-ed. Thank you so much for being on the show. We know we can catch you all over Fox, and we'd love to have you back. Tamara, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.